James Langridge posted a sexist LinkedIn rant comparing women's breast size to business confidence, sparking, wait for it, a lot of fury online. Smaller breasts flaunt while larger ones hide, just like marketing ideas.
My take at this guy is a fucking idiot.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Once upon a time, we were falling in love. Now we're only falling apart. Hi, kids. It's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel the Dictator Cheeseman.
This is Chad. Is that a banana in your tailpipe, or are you just happy to see me, Sowash?
This is Emmy. I'm definitely happy to see you, Baradugo.
And on this episode, Jamie Dimond leaks, Klarna lies, and Sasquatch scares the bejesus out of everyone on this podcast. Let's do this.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
Emmy's in the house.
Okay. I get home.
Who's back?
The best thing is, see, Emmy is, she's in Europe, and that kind of makes me sad because I'm not in Europe. But when I come home, I get gifts.
Ooh.
I get gifts. So this was waiting for me. This is from our friend Tracy Parsons from Flockety. Joel, I think you got one too. Yep. Los Angeles Distillery. Apparently this has won some awards. So I can't wait. High tide, straight right. Thank you, Tracy Parsons, and our friends over at Flock.
Nothing like some LA whiskey, because nobody does it like them.
I'll do it. It looks good. Looks good.
So I have a question for you guys. I have a question. Would you accept a LinkedIn connection request from someone whose profile picture was featuring them in a wedding dress?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Why?
You do you. You do you. Why?
And it's not a wedding planner, by the way.
Would you not, or what?
Do what?
I said, would you not, or what?
It's the first, I've been on LinkedIn a long time. I've seen some crazy shit. We're going to talk about more crazy LinkedIn shit later, but I've just never seen a wedding dress. It was a little unnerving, but I'm in the wrong because most people seem to think that it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. Showing a little bit of their personal life. Or did you think she was hitting on you? Is that it?
No, it was not. It was.
Joel, will you marry me?
She did not create a profile. Although I do agree, there are profiles that are clearly like, I'm sexy, but I'm not real. Connect with me, and I'll try to sell you life insurance. Like, I do agree that exists, but I don't think that this particular request was that. So
know that exists because you clicked on it and go, yeah, God, you're
This
sexy.
is why we have this show. So I can grow, I can become a better person, and see the world from different perspectives. So thank you. Wedding dress is okay.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely. It's 2025.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you guys see? So Netflix. A little podcast talk here, real quick. Netflix is apparently looking to get into podcasting. This is funny. This is Business Insider. According to 4 people, this is the story. According to 4 people, they must be really influential people with knowledge of the matter. Spoke to the company. They say that Netflix is, quote, exploring potential video deals with podcasters. I know that since we've moved to YouTube, Chad, and learning that YouTube actually is now the #1 spot for U.S. listeners to find podcasts. To me, it makes perfect sense that Netflix would get into this. And I assume others like maybe Facebook, maybe Reddit, maybe others will start becoming a podcast platform. Thoughts?
Yeah, so they're looking at doing it differently, which I think it's right. This isn't about doing like weekly podcasts like we do. It's about premium content. And I'd like to say once again, the Chad and Cheese podcast are ahead of the game.
So premium.
Last year we launched season 1 of the AI sessions, which was literally the pilot season. Had 4 interviews, cut it up into 11 snackable kind of episodes. It was a fucking rocket ship, which is why we're in the final throes of editing season 2 right now, and we've already recorded season 3. So yes, we will continue to push out our Friday podcast on YouTube, right? So you've got that kind of like that normal podcast flow on YouTube. But then you take a look at the premium stuff like we did with the AI sessions. That's more catered to a Netflix-like audience. So needless to say, I've been pitching AI sessions types of content to other companies. I had two calls this week around that because everybody loves the premium content and how deep we actually go with that. So it's I think it's smart.
Little extra, little extra something for everybody.
Hey, listener. Hey, I'm seeing here that you're watching every single week. Yeah, I know YouTube, Google, they have these analytics things, and you haven't subscribed yet. I don't know what the problem is. Hopefully, it's probably Joel. I know it's probably Joel, but it's okay. It's okay. He's not here right now. Just go ahead and click subscribe. Click subscribe.
I'm surprised at I'm learning how many sort of well-known podcasters make their guests come to them. Like they'll be in Austin or New York or whatever, and the guest has to come to them, which obviously is a better setting, better production, better sort of just vibe and energy. So the best ones, that's what I expect Netflix to kind of do. And they have immense power. I mean, imagine you log into Netflix and there's a picture of a podcaster and they could make podcasters. They could like blow somebody up big time if someone, sort of allied with Netflix.
Depends on the content. Yeah. I think they could. Depends on the content. What do you think?
And the creator. I mean, look, when I heard about it, I was like, I don't really know the difference between what they're doing at the moment and, doing a video podcast. Cause isn't this like a TV show? It's like, what is the difference?
We don't know yet.
No, so I'm interested when they say exploring. What does exploring mean? I think they're going to do something a little bit different. So I get it. It's a good move for them because they're seeing YouTube kind of dominate the market and thinking, okay, I want to get into it. So what I'm thinking is that they're going to do a slight pivot to what YouTube is doing, and use those kind of video podcasts to launch TV shows. So I don't know if you guys watch Sweet Bobby. Have you watched Sweet Bobby on No?
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Please watch it. So that's a podcast. Came out as a podcast. It's about this catfishing. This woman, was apparently in a long-term relationship. And when I say long-term, I'm talking about 6 years. A relationship with someone that she'd never met. And then turns out this person wasn't the person she thought it was. It turned out to be a friend. And now Netflix did a documentary on it. So I think that they're going to do something like that. Let's do a podcast, do the video podcast, use that to launch a show. That's a differentiator to YouTube.
One of the things that Netflix tried to get Call Her Daddy and some other podcasts, and they lost the bidding war. So what they're thinking of is one of the reasons why it looks like they're going to more premium content is because they can go to Call Her Daddy and say, hey, we want you to do a special project. Continue doing the stuff that you're doing with Spotify or wherever you're at. But we want you to do a special project, which is, again, kind of like the parallel that I'm running. We do this weekly show, but we also have these special projects that we put together. So I think they're going to go down that pretty much that line of thinking because you can still get some of these very exclusive, but yet already on contract podcasters to do special content.
Yeah, that's interesting. Kind of like Mr. Beast shit. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And not that anyone asked me, but I would like to see a Hot Ones style show with Stephen McGrath doing different scotches.
Oh, I love chicken cock.
Oh, yes.
I do.
Just not that anyone asked me. That's what I'd like to see.
Yes.
And speaking of Stephen McGrath.
Is it time for shout outs?
It is.
It is time for shout outs. Emmy, what you got?
Oh, right. So I woke up this morning, did my usual thing of opening my iPhone. I've got a brand new iPhone, by the way. So iPhone 16 Pro Max. Love it. And open up TikTok. Yes, I'm so happy. And you know what I heard? Do. They're not like us. They're not like us. Does this mean anything to you? Okay. So if it doesn't mean anything to the audience, Will Ferrell was on the SNL 50th anniversary doing some kind of remake of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. It was amazing. And I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. I was pissing myself laughing. I was like, what the hell is this? I must have played it on repeat over again. So Will Ferrell, you are my shout out for this week.
Well, and why this is so timely is because Kendrick Lamar just did the Super Bowl, right?
Loved
that
it.
was one. That song was the one that they couldn't believe that he actually sang about Drake being a pedophile, right?
I know.
So
did you see
very
the smile,
timely.
though?
Oh yes, very timely, very smart. Will Ferrell jumps on it, and if you've ever seen SNL, if you haven't seen this, Will Ferrell has this this music teacher kind of skit that he has with this. I can't remember who the lady is, but she looks like an old music teacher and he looks like a music teacher. And they're just singing like these new songs, which is when they started, amazing. I was like, holy shit, this is like on point. Yeah. It was awesome.
It was amazing. Awesome. They were trying to like hit the A minor, but it was like A minor, A minor, A minor. Like, honestly, please watch it. It's so funny.
Hot mic. So that's the one. Okay. I do know that skit.
Yeah.
By the way, as someone who has been alive for most of SNL's history, what an amazing feat that they've had. That show has been the same format more or less for 50 years.
Really?
And it just works. So yeah, shout out to them. I watched a lot of it, not that part obviously, but it was it's quite a feat to go that long and have the same format and still be successful.
Yeah,
so
50 years.
Small shout out to SNL for
yes.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I've got a shout out to our friend Jason Putnam. Go ahead and play that beautiful beam footage, Joel.
Jason Putnam.
Hey, Joel. Hey, Chad. Hope all is well. Thanks for the shout out. It is true. I've made the leap to go be the CEO over here at Veti. You guys know the industry is desperate for some things. Some of those things are a streamlined process and also being able to deliver ROI really fast. And that is what we have done for many years now at Veti and what we'll continue to do in the future. With that said, I've got a company to run, so let's keep the text to a minimum while I grab, a monster or two and go get to work on this stuff. Appreciate it.
All right.
So a new CEO in the space. Jason's been in the space for a very long time. He's been mainly on go-to-market revenue driving side of the house. Now he's gonna be driving pretty much the ship there at Veti. I do love the background though. I love the Captain America shield, the Thor hammer. It's
like Big 2 featuring Jason Putnam instead of Tom Hanks. First bit of advice as CEO now, you have to get a decent mic because you can't do this talk and the computer stuff anymore. You got to get a good mic.
That's where your marketing person, hint,
wink, wink,
needs to square you away. Let's get this done.
By the way, little known fact about Jason Putnam, he spent time at JobFox for the old timers in the industry. Actually, time at JobFox and Oodle, if you want to go real deep cut on that one.
That is a deep cut.
That's a deep cut because we go deep here on the show, everybody. All right, my shout out goes out to KFC, sort of a somber shout out for me. This one hits home, not just because I like a good bucket of chicken, Chad. I'm originally from the Louisville, Kentuckiana area. As if you're from the area, the sun always shines on Kentuckiana. So this business has been near and dear to my heart. Little known fact about me is that way back in the day, that's right, history lesson, kids.
Time for a history lesson.
Okay, so one of my first jobs in high school, I worked at KFC. It was known as Kentucky Fried Chicken back then.
Yeah.
They went to KFC because they wanted more of a global reach. A lot of people don't know them as Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, they are moving to Texas. And frankly, for me, Texas Fried Chicken doesn't have quite the ring that Kentucky Fried Chicken does. But my first job in the 80s, one of my first jobs in the 80s, I was the Chicken Little guy. Chad, I don't know if you remember Chicken Littles, but they were
tenders.
They were a 39-cent sandwich. They were like a biscuit or like a roll, not more like a roll than a biscuit.
Yeah.
And it had like a big chicken nugget, like a flat chicken nugget. It had mayo and it had pickle. And these were like little chicken littles. And that was my job.
That was your job.
So KFC, like kind of where I'm from, I still have family in the area. It near and dear to my heart. So I had to go back to YouTube, Chad, and I wanted to see if they had the commercial for the chicken littles. So sure enough, God bless YouTube. They do have the commercial. So I want to play the 30-second clip just to walk with me down memory lane. Will you, Chad?
I'm there for it.
Chicken littles just a walking down the street singing. Kentucky Fried Chicken's got my favorite thing to eat singing. Look good, taste fine, only 39 cents, gotta have them all the time.
Kentucky Fried Chicken's new chicken little sandwiches. They cost just a little, but people love them a lot.
So before you say your only job was chicken littles, these things were 39 cents and people would roll up and order 25, 30 of these things and I would have to make them. They were delicious. A little known fact about Kentucky Fried Chicken, they let you take the stuff home, or at least they did at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So I would bring buckets home of chicken and my dad would act like it was Christmas. Be like, what'd you get? What'd you bring home? Like, I got some crispy, I got some original, I got a few fries, I got the wedges, we got some biscuits. I gained 15 pounds.
You were the specialty guy at restaurants. At McDonald's, you were the McDLT guy.
McDLT guy.
And you were the Chicken Littles guy. So you were literally like the restaurant specialist. You could put that on your CV. That'd be awesome.
If they ever bring that shit back, I am set, baby. I was
the original.
Good God. Good
hot side hot. Cool side cool.
I never brought home whiskey as a high schooler, though, Chad. I always wondered what some good whiskey, some Jack Daniels and some chicken would taste like. Maybe I'll have to rediscover that.
If you go to chadcheese.com/free, you can actually register for whiskey. That's right. From our friends at Van Hack. We actually talked to Ilya this week. But 2 bottles of whiskey. Got to register. T-shirts. We've been seeing Chad and Cheese T-shirts all over social media. Everybody loves them. Can't get out of them because they feel so good. Yep. That's from our friends at Aaron App. Bourbon barrel aged syrup from the boys up north at Kiora, of course. Beautiful syrup from Canada.
Take off, will you? We're doing our movie. Don't wreck our show, you hoser.
Craft beer from those data geeks over at Aspen Tech Labs. And if it's your birthday, you might win some rum with plum. Go to chadcheese.com/free.
In the air right now?
Win.
I know I can. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
That's right. Another trip around the sun for listeners. Andrew Mall, Ryan Philemon, Maria Enya, Ross Granger, Laura Washington, Jim Carragher, Rebecca Horn, Farrah Rivas, Ali Mergis, Dan Albani, Krista Brenner, Mario Kulpmuller, Ethan Bloomfield, Mike Whiston, Kate Ruddick, Dave Amos, Kevin Burgess, and Charlotte Alvros. Skull, Charlotte, to those people.
There we go.
Tonight, Emmy, you probably don't like hockey, do you? Probably not a hockey fan.
Are you talking about ice hockey or?
Yes,
ice hockey. Yes.
No, we don't play. We don't do ice hockey in the UK. We do grass hockey.
So I don't know if you've kept up with this, Chad, but I married a Canadian, so it's in my
I've kept up with that. Yeah, no, I get that.
So Trump has been saying some crazy shit about Canada. It's going to be the 51st state. I mean, he said what he does. So they just created 4 nations, which is kind of a total ripoff of 6 Nations rugby, and it's Sweden, Finland, and America, or the USA and Canada, in this sort of hockey thing. So America just played in Montreal. The Canadians booed the national anthem and then got their ass beat 3-1 by the US. So tonight is the championship. In Boston, the USA versus Canada. So I can't take any more bets from the Canadians that I know about a bottle of whiskey. I can't do it. If the US loses, I'm on the hook for like 8 bottles of whiskey to my Canadian friends and family. So go USA, I guess. But it's a thing here.
After their loss to Sweden, they better bounce back. That's all I got to say. And bouncing back, Chad and Cheese are on the road with Shaker Recruitment Marketing. That's right, kids. Come spend St. Patrick's Day with us. The Chad and Cheese are going to be in Las Vegas during Transform. at the Win, March 17th through the 19th. Go to chadcheese.com/events. Register there. See us at Transform. And while you are there, also register to kick back, have chats, discussions, whatever you want to do, and some free drinks with Joel and myself, courtesy of Omar and the Job Pixel team. Just go to chadcheese.com and on the homepage, click register, and then you can get on the wait list. Yes, we're doing the honeymoon suite.
We're just that special, kids.
Honeymoon suite, no tigers, no face tattoos, although it should be a good time, free drinks, maybe some food, who knows.
I just want Mike Tyson to show up. That's really all
Topics!
All right, hold the presses, kids. Hold the presses. Hold the presses. Hold the presses. I just got news, a rumor that Jobget is in the acquisition mode again, and they acquired a company by the name of Seasoned, which is a seasonal kind of app for individuals. Yeah. So yes, they are on. It sounds like Jobget is on the acquisition trail again. Good for them. As we get more, if this rumor is true, we'll get more information, and we'll light it up next week.
Yeah, it's just a rumor, kids.
You naughty. You're teasing me.
I got teased. I got a tease too.
Tease is good. All right, let's get to some real news. Well, somewhere DJ Saul is having a good time because JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimond is on the hot seat this week. He leaked some audio that one of his loyal employees, I guess, recorded and decided to put out into the world about his opinions on work from home. Take a listen, kids, and we'll get your opinion on the other side.
A lot of you were on the fucking Zoom and you were doing the following, okay? Looking at your mail, sending texts to each other about what an asshole the other person is. Okay, not paying attention, not reading your stuff, and if you don't think that slows down efficiency, creativity, creates rudeness, and stuff, it does, okay? And when I found out that people are doing that, you don't do that at my goddamn meetings. You go to a meeting with me, you got my attention, you got my focus, I don't bring my goddamn phone, I'm not sending texts to people, okay? It simply doesn't work, and it doesn't work for creativity, it slows down decision-making. And don't give me the shit that work from home Friday works. I call a lot of people on Friday. They're not a goddamn person to get a hold of. But here are the problems, okay? And they are substantial, okay? Which is the young generation is being damaged by this. That means they may or may not be in your particular staff, but they are being left behind. They're being left behind socially, ideas, meeting people. In fact, my guess is most of you live in communities a hell of a lot less diverse than this room. Every area should be looking to be 10% more efficient. If I was running a department of 100 people, I guarantee you, if I wanted to, I could run it with 90 and be more efficient. I guarantee you. I could do it in my sleep. And the notion, these bureaucracies, I need more people, I can't get it done. No, because you're filling out requests that don't need to be done. Your people are going to meetings they don't need to go to. Someone told me to approve some of his wealth management that they had to go to 14 committees. I am dying to get the name of the 14 committees, and I feel like firing 14 chairmen of committees. I can't stand it anymore. Now, you have a choice. You don't have to work at JP Morgan. So the people of you who don't want to work at the company, that's fine with me. I'm not mad at you. Don't be mad at me. It's a free country. You can walk with your feet, but this company is going to set our own standards and do it our own way. And I've had it with this kind of stuff. And, I come in, I've been working 7 days a goddamn week since COVID, and I come in and where's everybody else? But they're here and there, and the Zooms don't show up, and people say they didn't get stuff. So that's not how you run a great company. We didn't build this great company by doing that, by doing the same semi-disease shit that everybody else does.
All right, Chad. Jamie is fired up.
So,
your thoughts?
You gotta, first and foremost, apparently working 7 days a week pisses you off. But no, seriously. I mean, what sent Dimond into this okay boomer tirade? This from the Economic Times, quote, during the town hall we just listened to, Nicholas Welch, an analyst in tech ops at JP Morgan Chase, who had worked, past tense, with the company since 2017, asked Dimond whether managers could have the discretion to decide on office attendance for their teams. He explained that His 7-member team, spread across different countries and time zones, found physical office presence irrelevant to productivity. The suggestion was met with loud applause from his colleagues, end quote. So Welch was fired after Dimond's tirade, and then rehired because I assume HR understands that retaliation isn't good for optics or plays well in the U.S. court system. But instead of looking at this as an RTO thing, I believe it's more of a leadership discussion. Dimond is a product of the late 1800s management philosophy: punch the clock, work 40 hours, preferably more than 40 hours. Leaders like that look at employees like cogs in a machine, not like people. Yeah, they might say hello in the morning, slap you on the back after a big sale, but they really don't give a damn about you. Dimond is an old dog that doesn't want to learn new tricks, and that's his prerogative. But it's also an employee's prerogative, as he said, not to work there. Seems fair, right? If an employee wants JP Morgan Chase on their CV, they know what to expect. Bullpen, long hours, burnout in 2 years. Now, what I believe is exciting about this whole, these types of boomer moments is the distinction of leaders in companies like CEOs. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek, who says, we treat our employees like adults, which means work from wherever you want, just get shit done. That's a big difference from Dimond, who believes iron fist, micromanagement, versus Ek, who believes freedom to allow Spotify workers to get shit done wherever they live and enjoy their goddamn lives. I also believe, and tell me what you think about this, Emmy. I also believe that we're going to see more women CEOs lean heavily into the Ek treat your employees like adults model, because women understand more than men how hard it is to run a household and a fucking job at the same time. So in the end, both models are going to stay in the market with subtle tweaks with hybrid work. I don't think one model wins over the other. It just gives us more opportunity of choice. What do we want?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm just going to start off by saying this guy is the definition of the type of leader that I absolutely can't fucking stand. I cannot. Yeah. He is living in the fucking dark ages. And I get it. You said he comes from, 1800s, whatever. I think he is. Who wants in this day and age to work 7 days a week? Why do you need to work 7 days a week? Why can't you get your shit done, in 5 days a week, in your 9 to 5? Yeah. Is he modeling efficiency? No, probably not. Is he
not working 7 days a week? He's
no,
not.
It's like, why can't you get your shit done? You're running a company. Yeah. Why do you have to work 7 days a week to get everything done? Does he think that JP Morgan is such a big brand name that everyone is going to want to work in that type of environment no matter what, just to get it on his resume?
He does.
Yeah, he does. And it's like, watch. When he said that, people can walk out, they are going to walk out. When the market picks up and there are other opportunities, when recruiters come knocking at the door, other organizations come knocking at the door, they're going to walk out, and then he's going to be fucked. Because he's going to have a hiring problem because the employer brand is now tarnished. And I just don't think he gets that. He's not thinking about it. Like you said, he thinks of his employees as cogs in a wheel instead of actually humans. He's not treating them as actually humans who are adults, who can deliver without this kind of micromanagement control freak personality that he is. So I think
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
I found this really fascinating. I think part of the pushback is how he said it and not what he said. The 7 days a week is ridiculous, and everyone that watched that was like, "Yeah." And what was your salary? What was your take home last year? If I made that, I probably would work 7 days a week too. When COVID happened and everyone was work from home and we're never going back, and this is the way that the world is going to be, I think Chad and I both wondered. No, it's going to be something it's going to be a mix of that. And what is it going to look like? And some companies will be remote only. Some will be at the office all the time, and some will be hybrid. To me, hybrid isn't remote because you have to still be where the company is to have that job. So that's always been a struggle for me. But it seems to me that the way it's shaking out is if you're a big company, particularly a public company, I think Spotify is an outlier. your ass is in the office. I think it's going to be really hard going forward for a big company that's publicly traded to have a hybrid or work from home environment. If you're a frontline worker, you've never had the option. You got to go to the factory, you got to go to the warehouse, you go to the restaurant, the dry cleaner. It's never been an option for you. It seems like the sweet spot for that remote opportunity, if you're not just a gigger or have your own thing going, is to be with a startup, and ideally a startup that is a technology startup. If you're just starting out, to get any kind of decent talent, you're going to have remote work. You're going to have that option to recruit those kinds of folks. So I think that's where we're shaking out at least as a country. I don't know as a world how we're going. The other thing that I think that the jury's still out on is the impact on young people. He says that young people are being hurt by this. They can't get in the office. Certainly some young people don't need an office. They can grow and get mentorship and do things otherwise. So I think for young people coming out of college, they're going to have to understand, who do I have to work for to get the environment that I want? And for a lot of them, it's going to be, I want JP Morgan on my CV. I'm willing to do 2 years and slave drive and do whatever it takes. And then others will say, like, that's not for me. I want to go work for a startup, and I'm willing to take the risk because it's remote and I get stock options. So the opportunities are becoming really clear, and the lanes are getting set into terms of what kind of company you are. I think as a business, you have to decide, who are we? Are we get your ass in the office, or are we Spotify? And everyone's a grown up and they can do the job that they're expected to do.
You have to also develop your leaders to know how to manage in a remote environment. And that's one of the biggest issues that we've talked about for a while now, is that we put people into management positions who have no fucking clue how to manage people. They're not people, right? They were great individual contributors who had nowhere else to go because they already hit their senior whatever level and they had to go into management. And that just really, with no background, no education, it just doesn't make any sense. So what we have to do, and what these companies don't want to do, like Jamie Dimond doesn't want to actually pay for his managers to go get developed to be able to learn how to manage people. He's telling you right now, I'm a micromanager. I'm going to tell you how to manage them, and you're going to be looking over the shoulder while they're in the office, right? So that's going to be the distinction. A lot of people are going with this all or none kind of scenario. I see that there are going to be tons of gray areas where some companies are going to be, hey, you can work from home, but if you'd like, we've got remote offices that you can go to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to be able to find what works for you. And it all comes down to outcomes. You're either doing your job or you're fucking fired. Yeah.
And I think that initially we thought that technology would be a silver bullet in this process. The companies that launched back in COVID days with Deal and Remote and Oyster, I think a lot of people thought, oh, this is the magic bullet. Like, we'll be able to manage the tech, everything will be technology based. And I think that promise didn't come to fruition, or hasn't come to fruition yet. So yeah, Chad, that's hard. Developing people, learning to lead, that is hard. And the easier thing to do is just get your ass back in the office. Let's go back to the way that it was. What I do wonder is, will we be willing to sacrifice our privacy to be remote? In other words, will we eventually technology will come around where we're going to look at everything that you do, every keystroke. We're going to have a camera on you all the time. We're going to have a thing implanted in your brain.
There's no reason for that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think companies will do that. And that'll be the justification. I
agree,
remote.
But it doesn't need to. I mean, again, it's end state, right? So even if you're working in an office, and when I built sales teams, we use Salesforce. I could see activity that was happening. At the end of the day, I could see what's going on, so on and so forth. I don't need to see keystrokes. I don't care where they're going on the web.
You just need to see the output.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would say is, I don't think it's that Jamie Dimond doesn't know how to lead or manage, because he's a CEO. He's obviously successful. So he's done well so far. What he's not good at is adapting to the current day and age. And the current day and age requires people to learn how to manage people either remotely or in a hybrid fashion. And that's what he doesn't want to do. Then that's a new skill set. And that is what's hard to learn. And I remember, because I used to live and work in the Middle East. and we were in the office. We were in the office all the time. Mm-hmm. But then when I came back to the UK during COVID, I was like, how do I manage a team when I don't know what they're doing? Some of my team members are pretty new to their role in recruiting. How am I going to train someone up remotely? And it was hard because there were no resources. There was no one to teach me how to do that. And it was trial and error, literally trial and error to get there. Now,
brave new world.
Yeah, we're 4 years in. And unfortunately, this is the new reality. This is what people are asking for. And people like James Dimond, they're going to get phased out. He's not going to be around forever. I heard rumors that, apparently he's going to retire soon. So I'm hoping that's the case, and then somebody else younger, more, hopefully he's not listening to this. But hopefully somebody else more forward thinking in time with it, like the current day with new skills and how to manage in this hybrid remote environment will come in and take over the companies like JP Morgan.
Yeah. It's also a heightened level of if you want to have a work in the office company, you better have an awesome employment brand or just a brand in general, because people are more likely to go to Chase or JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs or Google because of the brand. Like, I'll suck it up and go to the office because I can put that on my LinkedIn profile or my CV. So if you're a company that's like, get in the office, you better work on that employment brand. It better be amazing. Let's take a quick break and talk about some more corporate shit.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
All right, guys. Klarna, who we've talked about quite a bit, they don't need any people at all in their company. They got a little bit exposed by the New York Times this week. Listeners obviously know that their CEO has made bold claims that AI can handle all human jobs, including his job, and also saying that chatbots replaced 700 customer service agents in his company. However, the claims were exaggerated. According to the Times, support was outsourced, not automated. Workday was swapped in or out for Deal and Team Taylor. And they still have 50 job openings on their website, facing a 2026 IPO and a valuation drop from $50 billion to $6.7 billion. Ouch. The Times says Klarna leaned into AI hype to mask overhiring fixes and union challenges in their home country of Sweden. But wait, there's more knuckleheadedness. Did you hear about the Y Combinator company, Firecrawl, who posted a job for an AI agent paying $15,000 a year? I'm guessing that reeks of publicity stunt. But Chad, what's your take on the Klarna Y Combinator Firecrawl drama this week?
Yeah, I've got first off, thanks to Alex Tchaikovsky for pulling together a great Klarna overview. That was great work. Mm-hmm. Let's dig in real quick. So Crunchbase
is doing great work, by the way. He's doing great stuff. Keep it up, man.
Crunchbase is predicting that with $4.6 billion in funding, there's no more funding for Klarna. There's no acquisition in sight, which means they got one path, and that's IPO. So back to what you were talking about, Alex actually put out there, Klarna's valuation plummeted from its all-time high of 50 billion and lost 90% of that during COVID, down to 6.7 billion, right? So then how do they get that 90% back? AI is the answer, or at least claims of AI is the answer, right? And then back to the reports on Reddit suggest that customer service teams were never actually made redundant by AI, instead outsourced, an external agency. And as you talked about before, then they talked about how their AI is going to go ahead and displace Salesforce and Workday, right? When literally they just changed vendors, Deal and Team Taylor. Yeah. So that's Klarna, right? That's Klarna. This is a huge PR stunt, really, that they're trying to mask and claim. Then there's Firecrawl. I mean, welcome to the attention economy. This is nothing more than a PR stunt. And kudos for the startup for cashing in on attention. The question is, will Attention sell their product? Firecrawl boasts their product can turn websites into LLM-ready data. And that was awesome about 5 minutes ago. Companies this niche and leaning this hard on an already commoditized LLM ecosystem will be a dime a dozen in right now. Both Firecrawl and Klarna are PR stunts. Firecrawl actually said, hey, this is partly a PR stunt, but on the Klarna side of the house, how close is this to fraud? I mean, they're looking to go IPO. They're putting a lot of shit out there that it seems to be, at least from reports, pure lies. They're trying to get that 90% back that they lost. But the question is, will lies lead to fraud, lead to an orange jumpsuit?
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
So there was a time, Chad, when your lies would catch up with you and get you into
anymore.
trouble. I'm not sure we still live in that world. There's the way that you wish the world worked and the way that it actually does. I think Trump is obviously a figurehead of that movement. But more than that, Elon Musk, again, for years, I've heard from analysts and people who know what they're talking about say that Tesla is overvalued. It's just a car company. There's nothing to see here. There's no difference in them and Toyota. You know what the difference is? The story. The story and the storyteller. For whatever reason, people have neglected the numbers, the valuation, like just what we've historically thought of as a good company versus one that's in the toilet. And to Klarna's CEO's credit, he knows, taking Elon's, leadership on this, that the story matters. If he can weave a story about AI is replacing everybody, we don't need employees. He actually had an AI voice do his quarterly earnings call recently. So the story, who cares about the facts? Who cares about the numbers? Who cares about the trends? The story's cool, Chad. I'm buying that stock tomorrow. So that is what is going to save them. And he's taking a cue from so many other corporate leaders in the world. And we'll see if when they go public, if it works. But history says he may be onto something.
Feels like a Hawk Tua meme coin is what it feels like.
You know what? I agree. I when you say it's a good story, I think it's a beautiful bedtime story. They sat there Klarna's the poster child for efficiency with AI. Look at what we've achieved. Obviously, we know it's BS, but it doesn't matter. People are talking about them.
We do now, but at the time, is everybody in our space is like, holy shit, we don't need any people. The guy at Klarna says we don't.
Listen, half the people are going to read the article and still go, look at what Klarna's done. It's amazing. The whole world is believing lies with Trump in power and Elon Musk, as vice president. Well, he's
more like President Musk.
Well, yeah, exactly. But people buy into this bullshit. So it's a great PR stunt. It's a great PR stunt. And their names are out there. I mean, that other company, what is it called? Firecrawler? Firecrawl? Yeah. I never heard of them before. How many people know about them now? Everybody knows about them now. They're a small company. So does it work? Yeah. Does it get their name out there? Yeah. And they're saying, Firecrawl, that is, they're saying they were doing it to attract people to apply for their software engineering jobs. Well, people are going to do that now, aren't they? So yeah, does it work? Absolutely.
I don't know if I would. I don't know that I would. If you think that they're going to be leaning toward AI, you're not going to have a job as an engineer very long. Not to mention, Klarna's not in the U.S. They're in Sweden. I don't know enough about the Swedish government, but the U.S. might not lock down on something like that. The fucking Swedes might throw this motherfucker in jail. I don't know.
But look at where the world is going.
Different.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the UK. The UK, like, what did you say last time? It's like
is a
mini
small,
America.
Yes.
It's the same.
But that's not Sweden. That's not the rest of Europe. I mean, they have entirely different cultures. And just because the UK is trying to carbon copy the stupid shit that we're doing doesn't mean the rest of them are.
I'll beg to differ. I'll see what happens.
Little side note: I had a bad case of the fire crawl back in college. I don't know what's going on with that.
Next,
by the way, with fire crawl, like we live in a daily fight for attention, and companies are like, how do we get press? How do we get clicks? What are we gonna do? Like, oh, somebody had the bright idea of let's post a fake job for an AI employee, and that, we're going to see more of this stupid shit. Thank you. All right. Yeah. From stupid shit to just plain scare the hell out of me shit. The Sasquatch of statistics. That's right. Listeners know him as Toby Dayton, CEO at LinkUp, posted his top 10 predictions for 2025. It only took him a month and a half to get us his predictions for 25. No, never mind that. It had us on the ledge, or at least me on the ledge. The word cataclysmic is in the title. Toby predicts the U.S. economy will, quote, degenerate into mild stagflation with anemic growth, unemployment climbing to 5%, inflation persisting, and no cuts from the Fed. Can you scare me anymore, Toby? Chad, first hold me and tell me I'm okay. And the second is, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so you've got the 11 that are here, and I mean, Toby's an incredibly smart dude. If you listen to our jobs report, we did with him for about a year before they got acquired. Yeah. We got a good, close personal time with Toby. He's an incredibly smart dude, and they have a ton of data. Some of the things that he mapped out here, which is really good because we can actually dig in. So number one, the U.S. is looking to add about 1.6 million jobs in 2025. Sounds great. We added 2.2 in 2024. The problem is the market mismatch. The types of jobs we are going to create, you're going to have 2 or 3 of them to pay your fucking mortgage. That's a problem. So those job numbers doesn't really matter that much. Unemployment at the year end around 5%, which it might sound okay, I guess, to some people. The problem is unemployment isn't the problem. It's underemployment, right? Again, the people who have 2 to 3 jobs just to be able to make ends meet. So as we start to take a look at this, I think the scariest point for me is GDP growth. I mean, if everything is on its way down, this seems like a fucking spiral. And everybody was talking about, oh my God, we're gonna hit a recession. No, this doesn't look like a recession. This looks like a fucking depression. And that, again, take me back to Europe. Jesus fucking Christ. But this is actually going to impact global markets, and that's when America really
sneezes,
sucks.
The world gets a cold. So this is for everybody, more or less.
It is.
I have not heard that phrase before. I like that. When America sneezes, the world gets a cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's true. Yeah, no, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna pretend it's mine. Yeah, and you know what? I agree, because I think, a lot of people obviously voted the current government into the place that they are. And why? Because of he was going to do great things for the economy. But this is not showing that the economy is going great or will be going great. This is saying that it's going to go shit, So what does that mean for people? Because when you talk about inflation, it's like, I think some people can say, okay, inflation is like a technical metric. But the reality is, when you talk to the everyday person in their homes, it's not a technical metric. Yeah, they feel it. This is personal. So when people go into the grocery store, or the gas, to pay for gas, or they're paying the rent, they are feeling that. And that means the trust in the government is going to slowly erode. What is that going to do for the government? How are they going to recover from it? I don't think they can. And this is a massive, massive problem. I don't know how they're going to fix it, but I think it's dire. All of this is just showing dire consequences. You're going to get businesses that, who are going to be cautious. Businesses don't like instability. You're going to get businesses who slow down their hiring. You're going to be, which means what? And unemployment goes up, investment dries up. There's serious consequences of all of this.
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
That's number 10 there, Cheeseman.
So Chad mentioned how smart Toby is, and I totally agree. But I'll throw in the fact that Toby is one of the more thoughtful, calculated, low-key guys in the industry. So when he writes a post with the title Cataclysmic 2025 in it, he's not just getting clicks. He is really thoughtful around this. It's supposed to be his 10 predictions. He has 11. Like that's how much Toby went off the rails on this post. 3 of them are government related, which I think we should all be concerned with. Like, Chad, when we did the show, the numbers aren't true. They're changed all the time. The chaos in Washington. Small businesses, a report came out recently, small businesses are scared to death to hire. Why? Uncertainty. They don't know what's going on with tariffs. They don't know what's going on with geopolitical issues. They don't know inflation. Inflation is going up. It went up last week or last month. And then you have the Fed who says, we can't do anything.
You can't cut.
And when we talked to Toby when we started the show, he's like, "Hey man, how many cuts this year?" This is back in 2024.
Yeah,
I think he predicted 4, and there were 2. Now he's saying there's 0. Maybe he's wrong, and it's the other way around. But his data, if you didn't know, his data is collected from ATS's, direct employers. Like, it's real stuff. It's not ghost postings or whatever. So his data is really, really great, which is why he was acquired. So when he says this stuff, we should all really pay attention and act accordingly. And I'm going to do my best to get off the ledge because he freaked the fuck out of me, because he is not this kind of guy. He is not. God. Look at me. I'm crazy with crazy predictions.
Can we just go ahead and talk about boobs? I mean,
we can talk about boobs, but I have to say, if you haven't subscribed to Toby's newsletter, it's on Substack. It's called Diggings on the Job Market. Do yourself a favor and go out and subscribe.
Guy's amazing.
To his newsletter. And yes, we will come off the ledge and talk about LinkedIn and boobs, which I don't think we've ever done before. So go ahead and push the stamp on your bingo card, and we'll be right back.
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harry comes in. Harry is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harry, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harry's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harry, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harry is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
All right, guys. James Langridge, a fine British lad, apparently, and a self-styled, quote, business storytelling expert, end quote, posted a sexist LinkedIn rant comparing women's breast size to business confidence, sparking, wait for it, a lot of fury online. His 200-word theory, if you can call it that, paired with a Haley Atwell photo, who I don't even know, maybe you do, claimed, get this, smaller breasts flaunt while larger ones hide, just like marketing ideas. Sure. It drew 3,000 plus angry comments in 24 hours, surprisingly, with users labeling it LinkedIn's, quote, worst ever, end quote, and calling for his ban. Langridge later gloated on Facebook, but hasn't replied on LinkedIn. Shocking. Again, Emmy, what's your take on this juicy story.
My take at this guy is a fucking idiot. What the hell is wrong with him? Where's he been for the last 50 years?
He's looking for
He's a business storytelling expert, Emmy.
100%. And apparently he was a ski instructor beforehand, which led him to his business storytelling route.
Of course,
I'm like, honestly, I there's so many things that went through my head when I read this article. And to be honest, I don't know what's more baffling. I don't know if it's whether or not, what actually led him to write this. And then when he wrote it, what led him to hit the post button with confidence and go, yeah, this is a good post. This is going to get positive feedback. I was like, no. And then what I also don't understand, how did the post stay up long enough on LinkedIn to get 3,000 comments? 3,000 comments. It's like,
he deleted it. It wasn't taken off. He deleted it. Yeah.
I was searching today. I was searching everywhere. So who is this guy? I want to see him. I want to write on his kind of post. But do you know what I mean? Like I said, he's stupid. He's tone deaf. No one in this day and age can actually with confidence say that this is something that is actually a positive thing to do. With everything that's happened in the last couple of years, where is this guy coming from? And if I go onto LinkedIn, they are also accountable. And look, I know some of the things you say about LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn, but here I think they fucked up because you allow this guy to stay long enough to get 3,000 comments. People are calling for him to be banned. But they haven't banned him because I'm pretty sure when I did a search, although I can't see the post, I'm pretty sure I found him online. So my opinion is, from LinkedIn's point of view, if you don't ban him, you're enabling him. You're saying that this is actually okay. You're saying that it's absolutely fine for people on a professional platform. And that's what it is. It's like not saying it's good to do on any platform, but on a professional platform, it's okay to say this sexist comments. It's not okay. And if they keep him online, you are saying that it is okay. And LinkedIn have a duty of care to women, but it also have a duty of care to men who use this platform as a professional resource. So I'm waiting to see what LinkedIn actually does. I'm waiting for this guy to also comment to see if he's brave enough, since he's a professional storyteller. Cool. Tell us your story.
We actually have a hidden mic at LinkedIn headquarters, and here's the conversation that's going on right now about banning this dude. It sounds like it's not gonna happen. Sorry, Emmy.
I mean, disappointing. Yeah.
Chad, what's always shocked me, and we don't see this because we are who we are, the amount of, I guess, harassment that goes on LinkedIn behind the scenes. Emmy, I don't know if you can speak to this or not, whether you or friends. Apparently, it's quite a cesspool of dudes hitting on the ladies, whether it's DMs or comments or whatever. Like, are you seeing this or have anything that you've experienced?
Honestly, every once in a while, I get the most stupidest comment, and I'm just like, first of all, I don't know if you know who you're talking to, because I'm not someone who's just going to sit there and go, yeah, okay, fine, no problems. Or no, I'm not that person. I will come straight back at you. Say it with your chest. Okay, come on. I will respond equally back, and I will put you in your place. So yeah, it's unfortunately, whether it's LinkedIn or it's Instagram or it's X or Facebook, you are always going to find these people. And again, unfortunately, in this day and age, more and more people are thinking that it's okay to say that.
Mm-hmm.
There's
done messed up, Aaron!
with the current administration and the whole manosphere and all that other bullshit that's happening, right? It's like all of these fucking assholes are coming out of their holes.
Yeah.
This is how they felt the entire time. Right? That's how they felt the entire time. They just didn't say anything about it. Now they feel like they have a license to say whatever the fuck they want to whomever they want. Mm-hmm. Right. And that to me is a huge problem. But again, hopefully, I don't know that LinkedIn's going to kick him off, but hopefully, he understood that, oh God, I better pull this fucker down.
Yeah.
Hopefully
he even had emojis of two balloons and a smiley face.
I know. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with you?
someone commented, quote, it's only Monday and we've unearthed a caveman that does not belong in this millennium, let alone LinkedIn.
Honestly. But you know what? I'm just going to add a point. And when you say that you don't know if LinkedIn is going to take this guy down, I'm going to say that There are in conversations I've seen online about sexual health, gender equality, DEI, which gets flagged or removed of LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
But yet this was allowed to stay on for this period of time, and this guy's still on there. So I'm like, what is worse?
He needs a timeout at least, because LinkedIn does give you the timeouts. Kick him. All right.
Kick him out. Kick him straight out. You can't come back. I don't care how you do your business. It's like
and something that's never getting kicked out is our joke of the week, everybody. All right, keeping with the boob theme, what did the saggy boob say to the other saggy boob? What did the saggy boob say to the other saggy boob?
Something to do with lift me up?
No.
No.
If we don't get some support soon, people are going to think we're nuts. We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper Jack. Swiss. There's so many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!